Welcome back to Sunny Side Up. Today I am joined by two guests. It is one of those rare episodes today. My family is visiting, except the other one already lives here, but it's my mom and my sister. Say hi, guys.
Good morning.
Hi.
So, I'm going to start us off hot here. Coming off of last week's episode, which was a little bit contentious.
That was rough.
Yeah. I was in a spirited debate. But coming off of it, if you, so I talked, Emily, you probably don't know what we talked about. We discussed what like the appropriate age for someone to have social media is, what the appropriate age for someone to even touch the internet is, among other hot parts. But those two I think are the most relevant. But if you two could give an opinion on this, what age is it okay to give a child social media?
Honestly, I would put it at the same age that I got my social media because...
Which was?
I think I was in middle school, like 6th grade, maybe, like...
Probably.
I think I was starting middle school, and I think that was good for mainly the fact, like, she didn't give me all my social media. She gave me it for emergencies and because I was walking home and a bunch of stuff like that. Like, it wasn't for social media. It was for in case I needed help because I would walk home from school and stuff like that.
So that's more.
Are you talking about a cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean, I think you're talking like
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think I got that. Like, Facebook I got first because mom had it and all of that, but I didn't get that until I was like 15, 14.
And you were private and mom approved your friends for how long?
Oh, yeah. So I did let her get Facebook. She was actually younger than what she's remembering, but I went in there, created her Facebook, and then I blocked, I made it just as private as I could, and so people couldn't search her out, just to try and protect her a little bit from it. But yeah.
Okay. And just for reference, how old are you, Emily?
19.
And mom?
Rude.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
Okay, just for reference when we're having this discussion. But mom, what would be your opinion then on how old is it now at 49, having raised 4 kids?
Yeah.
Which in a minute we're going to talk about parenting and social media. But what do you think is like an okay age to give a kid social media?
So I was like much more strict with you, the oldest, and then obviously when I got down to the youngest, I was a lot less. I don't know if there's a right age. I think you have to judge it based on your circumstances and based on your child's how mentally old they are, because you could have a 13-year-old that acts more like a 17-year-old, they're more responsible. You could have a 17-year-old who acts more like a 10-year-old, you know what I mean? So you have to just really just base it on the child and your personal things. But I'm telling you that there are things out there that I didn't know there were. Like with Emily, she's much younger. I wasn't into the social media as much, and there are apps out there that I would, I'd call Mike and I'd be like, Mike, what is this app? And he would be like, oh, it's safe. Or he'd be like, get rid of it. You don't want anybody to have it. So the internet is a wonderful thing, and it's a very scary thing. And social media brings in the predators. So you just really, I have friends who actually have their phones mimicked to their preteen or teenage phone, so whatever's coming into that teenage phone is going to their phone, so they know exactly what it is. And at times I thought, that's way over the top. Like, you have to put some trust in them. But then there were things that happened to me with my kids that I wish I would have known so that I could have helped curb it. So it's a tough game out there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's dive into that a little bit more. So how did raising 4 kids compared to me, who's 29, and the youngest, 19, so that's 10 years of difference right there. Mm-hmm. What was it like raising me and dealing with social media versus raising 10 years later, raising Emily with social media? Because for me, like, social media was just really becoming a thing. Like my first social media was MySpace, and I had that.
That was mine too.
Yeah, I had MySpace for a few years, and then eventually switched to Facebook and stuff. And so like, I would say that you raised me through the beginning of social media, and the beginning of like kids using the internet in like a more modern way, versus Emily, who came in and she was
pretty much
she
there
saw
from
internet.
birth.
Yeah. Like social media had existed forever for her. It might as well have been, time itself. So what was that difference like? And
oh gosh, so when you were young, like you said, MySpace was just coming out. Plus, we were just getting internet in our house. It wasn't something we needed. In fact, I didn't even get a cell phone until Emily was born. So I was 30 years old by the time I got my first cell phone. And those cell phones were the flip top. Like, we didn't have, touchscreen and such. So you didn't have the internet on the go like we did. It took a little time to get that. But so for you, like, the internet and social media was not like a huge deal. We did have a family computer, but it was kept in the front room so that at all times there was no secrecy. Like anybody could walk by and everybody could see what you were doing. And so that was my way of trying to protect you, because we didn't know what the internet was going to have, this big bad scary stuff that it did, but we knew that there was potentials. And so you were there in the front room, or I was in the front room. Whoever was on it was always access to everybody. And to make it a little better, you still managed to have unfortunate things happen, even with taking the precautions that I knew to take, and we just didn't know back then. So for you, social media was just not.
Do you remember where, like, it was a predator who, tried to make advances. I have a memory of it being on Club Penguin. Do you happen to remember where it was?
So I do not know which site it was on. This is what I know is you were in the front room and you were playing video games on the internet, and
it had to have been Club Penguin.
The kids and I were outside playing in the yard, and you came out and you literally go, "Hey Mom, can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Sure." And you're like, "So I thought that there was only one type of sex," and I was like horrified and confused, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "Well, I was playing this game, and then this person offered, that they would give me whatever it was, points or money or whatever towards your game if you would do the sex." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And so I like ran in the house and I looked, and I was just horrified because, I thought I was taking the precautions. I thought you were on sites that were decent or whatever. Anyway, so at that point I had to explain to you, well, in general terms, because of your age and because obviously you didn't know, I was like, well, there's porn, there's internet sex, there's oral sex, what I mean? Like, just enough to give you enough information to satisfy you and to figure out what the hell was I going to do next? Like, I was so scared. I wanted to throw the computer completely away. Like, I was just freaked out. So, yeah.
Yeah. How old was I again, you said?
You would have been just about 12, probably about 12, 13 years old.
So that would have been fifth or sixth grade? Okay, so it would have been either Club Penguin or RuneScape. Because I know when we moved to Lewiston, to fit in, I started playing RuneScape. But Club Penguin was still the shit. So it would have been one of the two.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
That was my first, we're having a sex talk. Oh, dear God.
At least you were the kind of parent that was willing to have a sex talk. I had a lot of friends who did not get a sex talk from their parents.
I have a lot of friends who are horrified that I would talk openly with you kids. But from the time you guys were little, I was like, listen, it's a penis or it's a vagina. We're not going to give it funny names. We don't want to make this awkward. Like, I need you to know that you can talk to me in case something comes wrong, or just you're curious. I don't want you to... I was trying to... My mom, you still can't say the word penis, and, she's in her 70s, and she's horrified, so...
Well, okay, so continuing on, versus Emily, so we've heard a lot about, like, what my experience was growing up when social media was growing up. It was fully grown by the time Emily started interacting with it.
100%, yeah, so So M was basically just born into that time. Like I was 30, you were getting MySpace, I was getting MySpace. We were learning to communicate with people like, that we hadn't, people we knew or people we didn't know. So she literally was born that year. And so the internet, I mean, you were using the internet by the time she came along. We did have touch screens, and she started kindergarten. They were on the internet. So, and at that point, like, people were learning the safeguards. And there were some out there, but not like there is today. But even so, it's still crazy. But she, I don't know that she played. Did you play very many online games or anything? Or you just pretty much went to social media?
I mean, a little bit, but I only did because, like, my sister Paige did. And whenever she was playing them, she was only 5 years older than me. So I'd do whatever she did. She was my little buddy.
She used to be a really good tattletale, by the way. Emily was. She was how I, like, kept you kids in line. But by the time she was a teenager, I didn't have a tattletale.
Yeah.
I got to tell on you guys a lot. Just open the front door and peek outside. You guys couldn't see me.
So, the struggles for me. Okay, so we had the sexual predator instance was not related to social media, but it was associated danger.
Well, and I would kind of argue that those video games are a little bit of a social. They're not a social media, but they are related to social media.
Okay, yeah, fair
I would
enough.
say it would be a cousin. I mean, you're definitely communicating with people you don't know. You're interacting back and forth. There is conversation. So, I mean, I would think that I would classify it as being related.
Well, we are learning on this podcast between the last two episodes. The definition of social media is people's social definition of social media is much broader than my personal definition.
Yeah.
So the struggles were obviously different too.
Oh yeah.
Emily, you dealt with a lot of cyberbullying.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I guess I would like to hear from both of you what that was like as a woman growing up, social media in full blown. What did you see from the parent side? What did you see from the kid side? And if you don't want to talk about the bullying, you could just say, what the general struggles of social media was at full blown.
Yeah, I don't I guess I just don't know how to put it into perspective for someone else, but I mean, I was 14, maybe younger when it started.
Oh, definitely younger. So she was leaving grade school and she wasn't into social media yet, but it was like her last year in grade school, and she spent almost an entire year.
Which is sixth grade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for most other places, that's actually middle school.
Yeah. So cell phones were in play, but the social media was just starting for her, and the bullying, you used to go to school and you'd get bullied, and you go home and you'd be free of it. You're never free of it. It's 24/7, and she spent a whole year where I was her only friend, and that was really hard on somebody who's becoming a teenager. So anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. I think that was my 7th grade year too. I had people I was trying to make friends with, but I felt like I had made so many enemies through people bullying me, and then I'd try and bully them back to make myself feel better, I guess, but it never worked. I'd just create enemies. And then at the end of the day, I thought that everyone was my enemy, and so making friends impossible. And I made friends through social media after that, and would meet people on Snapchat, random quick ads.
Yeah, we loved that.
Yeah.
It didn't scare us at all.
Well, that was the way that I thought I could make new friends without them knowing my past or knowing why no one liked me at the school I went to. So I think that didn't help either, because then I went and made all these new friends who were going to do the same thing, just in a different way and online. And so then I had a bunch of people who were trolling all of my social media accounts, from Snapchat to TikTok to Instagram, just to try and get a laugh out of me or something, try and get some sort of emotion out of me. And I honestly don't think that it stopped until I went online for high school. My senior year of high school, I went online and I never had to deal with any of that again. No one has ever treated me like I did in high school.
Dude, social media is tough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't envy kids these days. Like, they're so lucky to have the internet at their fingertips, but social media is rough. I think, though, at any age. I mean, I honestly have people that I'm quote-unquote friends with, but I have them blocked, so to speak, so I can't see their stuff because they're toxic. You know, like, they're just very, very negative people, and I'm like, I don't need that in life. Like, life is too short. You know, I don't need to see it. I don't need to feel it, so...
Well, to give a perspective on bullying, when I was growing up with social media, the bullying was still in person. I would say, like, I did not experience cyberbullying, like at the the same time frame that you were. So I think that's one significant difference. I don't think cyberbullying was quite taking off, or I would say as popular as it would later become. I would say let's talk about the positives of growing up with social media at the different times. I'm not really sure there was that much, other than, oh wow, I get to see a picture of my second cousin who I see once a year.
Yeah, that part was cool, but also we moved. We moved 70 miles from a town that you had been in to Lewiston, and those kids were your friends. They had been your friends since you were 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yeah.
So with that, you were able to like kind of stay in touch with them a little bit, and I mean, as you grow, you fall apart from people anyway. But it is nice to like touch base every once in a while.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Another tough question for you. You're about a month into moving here to Boise, brand new city, first time leaving home. How are you feeling about the new city?
Well, I should ask the city, the job, or where I live.
The experience.
Well, it's all different. I like my job. I didn't think I would, but I do. It's just hard to get behind because it's a lot of fucking work. But I'm getting there. I'm making it through. But I mean, I like the city. It's nice. I hate being away from my family. Like, I know you're my family. I know Faith's my family now, but you guys I didn't grow up with, so I really miss my mom.
Yay!
Yeah.
And I literally met my dad when I turned 16, and I'm only 19, so 3 years. So it's really hard. I want to keep making that connection. So moving away is really, really hard, but I'm figuring it out. And I know I made this decision to move here, so I'm going to stick to it until my year is up, and then I can decide if I want to move back. And if I do, I will, but I'll go get my own place so I don't got to go live at home again.
I know she means that with the most love.
I want to live in Lewiston, but I do not want to live at home again.
Oh, that's good. That would be a good thing, just so you know. And this might help, but you don't actually wait a year and then make a decision. You have to make a decision like 9 months into the contract. So you've got less time than you think before you have to make that decision.
Well, yeah, I know. And like, you guys signed the contract in May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Which was super late, by the way. Normally, in my experience, I've always signed a lease, either a new one or a renewed one, about 3 to 6 months before it's time.
I haven't rented in a really long time, so that's so bizarre to me.
I'm also used to extremely predatory property management companies who don't want to give you the option to consider other places. Okay. So I don't know how it is here because we're also in a private ownership, which is a totally different beast.
Right.
And very rare nowadays.
It really is.
Very,
yeah.
very rare.
Yeah.
This is my second new city. I'm going to say that...
I guess technically you're third because you moved to Moscow and you moved to Texas.
Yeah, Moscow is only 30 minutes away. I still went home every weekend to do laundry. So I'm not really sure that counts because in most places, 30 minutes is just moving across town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe in 100 years, Moscow will just be a suburb of Lewiston. But I'm going to count this as my second new city. First time was outside Austin. Now I'm in Boise. And when I moved to Austin, it was June of 2020. So literally the middle of the full-blown start of the pandemic. And moving to Boise has been about the same experience.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Because I remember you calling and you're like, Mom, they literally have fences around the rivers. You can't even, because I'm like, well, at least go out and go for a walk. You can't be around people, but you could go for a walk. And you're like, no, the rivers have fences around them.
Every park was gated.
You were living in one of those apartment buildings that are made out of shipping containers. And I was just like, thank goodness we did have social media, because we did do a lot. We did a Facebook call every week where we could see each other and at least have some type of a connection. But that was tough.
That was but I'm experiencing very similar issues. Honestly, if it wasn't for Faith and Emily, I would be in a rough shape right now because socially, I'm about the same experience. Like, I moved here for the promise of all these friends who were like, please text me when you get here. And half of them won't text back now. The other half won't show up to an event. Mm-hmm. And in fact, one person I did not expect at all to really reconnect with in any sort of way is the only person who's come over.
Yikes.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And so it's been, I should say, obviously, I had people come over for the bachelor party, but I think an event of that level, you don't really get to count.
Yeah.
You're kind of forced to come. If you're in the wedding, you must come to the bachelor party.
Yeah. So, there are definitely numerous circumstances in which it is an equitable experience, which it was extreme. Like, I could not tell you, like, this was never even a consideration for me when I was moving here. Like, there was not a doubt in my mind that this was going to be the best opportunity. And it sucks so far. It's basically like moving to a new city where I don't have any friends at all. Yeah. It's a really weird experience. And thankfully I have my wife. And I have my dog. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I talked to Em about social media stuff, and I'm like, well, trying to find things out there that could benefit her, like places that she could meet new people, because how else are you going to meet people? You meet them at work or whatever, or maybe by chance bump into somebody and make a friend at the store, but that's pretty rare, you know what I mean?
It's not easy.
And the couple of apps that we found and we've sent to her and we're like, hey, check this one out. It turns out that it's just a meat market. Mm-hmm. And she's like, listen, I'm just trying to make a friend, like an actual friend, not a meat market. So it's been tough.
I've tried different apps. There's also, different local community organization apps, and there's just no local gathering events. Yeah. In Austin, actually, there was these apps were used a lot. They're like, hey, this book club meets at this coffee shop every week this day. All are welcome. Or this women's group meets in the park every week to, hang out and play games or whatever. And that those apps are just not being used here. Wow. And so, I've tried numerous different apps, and it's just the relationships that start from that are so awkward anyways and so uncomfortable. But I'm fine being put in an awkward or uncomfortable position, but none of that is
unless
working.
It's a parade.
I just don't like parades, and I really don't like small towns. I did it for my wife, and I got into it, and I had a good time, and I made sure everyone else enjoyed it, and I shared candy. It was like a candy Santa Claus. So I embraced it. Okay. It's just being in a parade has been my fear for forever. It's the social anxiety of being in a parade. Oh my God. But I did it. I embraced it, and I got over it.
So we went to a parade last weekend, and the very last float had an ice chest full of ice cold beer, and they were handing out beer to everyone that they were 100% sure was an adult, obviously. Yeah. And I was like, this is the best parade I have ever been to.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was getting at is we're both struggling with having a social life. But Mom when you first really moved away, it was 1,000 miles to here in Idaho. And you were Emily's age, right? You were about 19, 20?
Actually, I was 21.
Oh, you were 21.
Yeah. I had
Okay,
both
so
you
this
boys
makes
by
this
then.
next question a little bit more easier to answer then, because I thought you were going to be underage. How was that, and how the fuck did you make friends? But now that you said you're 21, I'm just going to assume the bar.
Absolutely not.
No?
Actually.
Okay.
So we left California. We did move 1,000 miles away to this tiny little town. So we, the nearest stoplight was 73 miles away. 73 miles to a stoplight, to a fast food burger, you name it, straight out of California. But when I say that, I was married and I had 2 boys. I had a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. I didn't have time to worry about friends. I had a family to take care of. I had a house to run. I had kids to take care of. So, I made friends with neighbors as we were moving in because it was a small town. So people get to know each other a little bit and talk a little bit. And that's honestly where I started with the friendship, was with a neighbor, struck up conversation. Then once you kids started school, by then I had 1 or 2 friends because we had kids in common. You know what I mean?
So your answer is for Faith to pop out a kid?
I don't think she wants that yet.
Well, it's about what I need.
Oh.
Yeah. Continue with your
poor
story.
Faith. Anyway, and so, the bar was actually not it for me. I think I was 22 or 23. I might have been close to 23 the first time. I walked down to the post office and I was like, I left you boys with your dad, and I'm like, I just need a break. I'm going to go check the mail. And I walked down to the post office and my biological dad pops out of the bar and was like, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm just getting the mail. He says, come in and have a beer. Well, I was so desperate to get out of the house at this point.
Oh,
so I was like, okay. So I go into the bar, which is totally foreign and crazy for me. And he gets me a Keystone Light on tap. Okay, I'm not a beer drinker at this point in my life at all, let alone something on tap. And something called a duck fart, a shot that's called a duck fart. So here I go. Okay, so I took the shot and drank the beer, and then I had to go home because I don't drink. So I'm a mess at this point, Your dad was very confused. So yeah, I had 2 kids, so social life was not something that was important. I had stuff to take care of. So, I was just telling Em and Paige, I left home at 18, but your dad and I were together, and we got married at 19 and had you, and it continued from there. I've never ever lived on my own as an adult, not with my husband. Not I've always had kids. I have no idea what it's like to not live in a house with kids. 30 years. Yeah, 30 years I've never lived alone. And I came from a busy house, so honestly, I'm excited for the idea of what that's going to be like, but I'm scared.
So basically, you don't know what it's like to be alone.
I do not. Absolutely not. Do not.
So
I'm scared of
she
it.
doesn't make it any easier for us to find friends, basically.
No, she has nothing to help us out here other than go to the bar, which is
I'm too
not
young.
great. And not a great way to make friends, I'll tell you that. Not a great way to make real friends,
And
having drinking buddies is one thing, but not quite
Yeah.
what we're looking for right now.
The Hubo or whatever it is, the Make New Friends app, is
I don't
not
know that one.
It's not Make New Friends. It's for underage people who are not 18 to go find new relationships. It's not to go make new friends. I've tried, and they only want to hook up. I'm like, I'm not here for that.
Like Bumblebee or something?
Yeah.
Bumble BFF.
Yeah, see,
But
and,
Bumble BFF only shows you people of the same sex.
I'm
So-
worried about that because how many girls are going to jump on there I could just find a girl pretty easy on here. I don't want that as a person.
I don't think you need to worry about that.
Well, that's
Because
what I
there's-
worry about because
I wouldn't say you need to worry about that with Bumble BFF because the point is BFF. If
But
you
that's
want-
what-
Yeah. Duh.
But that's what Hubo was for too. It's literally for making new friends.
Yeah, but Bumble has a separate app for the dating experience.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, they've got 3. You've got Bumble Biz. This is not a promoted conversation. You can sponsor me if you wish, though. That's a great. Yeah, Bumble listens to this. Sponsor this, and I'll use Bumble BFF, and I'll tell you how it goes. But yeah, Bumble
We'll
Biz
both
for
use it.
networking, just Bumble for dating, and then Bumble BFF for trying to find friends. So,
You ever try Grindr?
no. Is that one for making friends?
Yeah.
Special friends.
Special friends for guys.
Okay. Well, I thought I would end us off with something a little bit more lighthearted and fun. I have a quiz for you guys.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, Mom has watched Harry Potter for an unknown number of fucking times. And I have explained every character to her over and over and over and over. And every time Harry Potter will come onto the screen, she's like, "Who's that?" Like she's
I know the actual Harry Potter character. That's the only one I might know.
So I have 5 characters here. And Emily, how familiar do you think you are with names of these characters?
I would say probably 7. Because I feel like I can, if
Okay.
you show me their face, I could probably get it.
Okay,
Okay.
just for reference, I want to say, so Michael got hooked on Harry Potter from the very first one. And we watched the very first Harry Potter. We went to all the midnight premieres that they did. And every year at Christmas, we have a Harry Potter marathon where he makes us watch every single movie every single year. So I really, really should know these.
Yeah. Considering you're the kind of parent to actually like watch the movies and like engage with your children. So Emily, with your familiarity, I'm going to say give Mom a 5-second head start to try and guess these characters. And if she doesn't get it, you can go ahead and do it.
I got it.
First up, who is this character?
Hermione?
Oh my God, way to
Good
go,
job.
Mom.
I saw it from the back.
Wow. Okay. Who's this one?
Ronald.
Wow. Even got the full government name.
I would have
Wow.
said Ron, but okay.
Okay, this is going way different than I thought. All right, we're going to start getting a little bit harder, though. I gave you the main trio. Now we're going to start getting a little bit harder. Who is this character?
Gandalf?
That would be from Lord of the Rings. No, this... Emily?
I cannot remember his name. But it's
Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Holy Moses.
I knew it. I just that completely threw me off.
Who is this character? I will accept either his real name or his taken name.
I have no idea.
I know it.
Literally the main bad guy in the entire series. There's only one movie where he does not make an appearance.
I can't remember his name. I just know his face. And his
Tom
body.
Riddle is his government name, and his taken name is Lord Voldemort.
Oh.
All right, our 5th and final character. Who is this?
Harry Potter's owl.
But there's an owl. I mean, there's an owl. There's a name.
That's Harry Potter's owl. If I ever seen it before.
I don't know. Sorry.
It's Hedwig.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You forgot to give us Harry Potter.
Well,
And
that
the-
was
and
going to
the
be
guy-
too
What's
obvious.
the
What about
blonde
the-
kid? The mean blonde kid.
Draco.
Oh yeah.
What, yeah, what about the
I could have given you Dean Thomas. I could have given
Who's
you
that?
Newt Scamander.
the guy with the super long hair
The
and
giant?
Hedwig? I mean, Hagrid?
Yeah, why didn't you give
Because I was trying to give you guys a little bit harder ones.
or professor, the female professor, the older female professor? Why
There's
not
a
her?
few older female.
Nuh-uh,
professors.
you know exactly
The
which one.
herbology one, or the transfiguration one, the
The
astronomy one,
The one
Oh.
or the divination, excuse
I
me.
know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
The one who helps deliver him as a baby?
What? Somebody helped deliver.
Like two Privet Drive.
No, I don't know what
Oh,
you're talking.
I think so.
She's got like the old lady glasses. She looks.
Oh, McGonagall.
yes,
Yeah, Minerva.
yes. Okay, that's like the one that I remember.
I'm just flexing.
I know. We're letting you.
That's all.
I'm flexing for absolutely no one.
Oh, that was a good time.
Okay, well, now we're gonna shift. Mom, do you have any plugs?
I do. So, this is a podcast that just another one. You know, I'm a crime junkie. I listen to him.
Yeah, you do commit a lot of crimes.
Yeah. So
Hardcore.
I work from home, so it's often that I listen to crime stories for 10 hours a day. But this one, Payne Lindsay does Up and Vanished. he is a phenomenal storyteller. I like the sound of his voice. I enjoy his stories, but he goes out there and he tells it from the beginning to the end, and he does great interviews, and he's got a great cast. So Up and Vanished is the name of it. He does other ones, but so far everything that I found by Payne Lindsay has been pretty awesome. So
Have I showed you Voices for Justice before?
I've actually listened to that one
Okay,
too.
I couldn't-
And do you know the story behind her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the whole reason she does the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, just so you know, so what he's talking about. So her sister, her half-sister or step-sister?
Half-sister?
I think it's her half-sister, vanished when she was like 13. She's 100% sure that her biological dad had killed her sister.
Wow.
And said that she ran away. And so as she grows or whatever, and
the police told her that we can't open this case without a police officer said, if you can get a bunch of attention on this case, we could reopen the case. And so she started the podcast to try and bring enough attention to the story to then force the police to reopen the case and reinvestigate her father.
Right. Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
But now each episode is her interviewing someone else about
their murder.
Yeah.
Or their family or something.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like family of a survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have so much as something I want you guys to listen to. I just want it to be put out there that
PSA.
Yeah, there is no reason to drink and drive. There's always a cab or someone you can call. Please don't drink and drive.
I'm gonna start switching gears to doing my plugs for the next couple of weeks. I think are gonna be the odd, the weird, and the cult movies. So this time I am giving you the recommendation of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Great, hilarious comedy thinly disguised as a horror movie. And I think I've just been getting back into bad movies. Quote unquote bad movies.
Like Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder is one of the greatest movies of all time. So anyways, I'm gonna have a bunch of cult movies to share out here in the next couple of weeks. So that wraps it up. Thanks guys for being here on the pod.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Emily, how was your experience? First podcast ever.
It wasn't bad. I was trying not to get emotional, but I knew that I would just because of the topics. But it wasn't bad.
Okay, cool. Would you do it again sometime?
Yes.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this time. Bye, guys.
Bye.